morning, Jules here from Joolsedesigns and JT Creations. So another video on crafting on a budget. So what we're going to do is we're going to do some coffee dyeing you see all the time. So I'll show you these first. So we've got, you can dye with all sorts. That's coffee dyed paper. So all I do is I just get, you know, the big tinfoil roasting pans, put coffee and water and just dip my papers in, and you get different results all the time. These I think I've hung up. That one's a bit more muted. This one is it's got a pink sheen to it, so it's avocado dyed. Now avocado, it's the skins. You get the avocados with the red, dark red skins, and you just boil them until the water goes red, and then again you just dip your paper in. And then you've got cabbage dye in. This is a blue tinge, and it's the red cabbage, and you just again boil it until your water goes like a dark purple. What I usually do when I do cabbage dyeing, I put half of it in one pot, half of it in another pot, and I mix vinegar. And when you mix vinegar with it, it goes red, so that I get sort of like pinky sheets, pinky purpley sheets, and I get blue sheets. You can also do coffee dyeing through stencils. This one's a big leaf placemat, and I've done quite a few. I've also done some you know, spraying with the oxides and things like that through it once I've done the coffee dyeing. With that one, I don't know whether you can see it, but there's like a gilt, so I've put like a goldy shimmer through it. But what I want to show you is something that's quite easy, and it's bubble dyeing. Now I've done this with coffee, and you can see it. And it just comes up bubbly. And what I usually do, the sheets that I really like, I scan, and then I can print them off and use digitally as well. So I've just got some A4s down to A5. It just makes it easier for me to show you. Now I've just got a bowl, and you can see how much that's washing up liquid, washing detergent. And I've got, this is mainly coffee, but there is some fruit tea dye, so it's got like a reddy tinge. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to pour some in there, and I'm going to mix it when I find a mixer. You know when it's mixing, because it gets all bubbly. And then all you need is just a straw. Now I've got this, it's a flagpole from the coronation. My granddaughter left it, and it had a Union Jack on, but it's ideal and it's easy for me to show you with this. So all you do is you just blow, and it creates bubbles. And all I'm doing is I'm just, now you can't really see there, well you can. Because this has got tea in with it, and it's the bubbles that create the patterns, and we'll just put that there. So this isn't a strong coffee. If you want darker, then just use strong coffee. or you can do it with cabbage dye, avocado dye. You can do yellow with saffron. Well, saffron's expensive. Turmeric, and just mix it with water. And I'll just carry on doing a lot of these. Doing is I'm just putting these on the windowsill to dry. Now you can use coloured inks, things like that. You can do whatever, you know, if you wanted to make it slightly a different colour, if you wanted purple or orange. And if you get rid of the bubbles, it sort of like it goes darker. And we'll put these up here, and you can see where the little bubbles are, and you get interesting patterns all the time. You can see, and I'd always do both sides. I might as well do the rest of them because I will use them. Take some of these bubbles off. Just put them on there, down to the last couple of pages. And there we are. So what I'll do is I'm going to go away. I'll put you on pause. It'll just be a few seconds for you, but it'll be a little while for me. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to dry these papers, and we'll see what they look like when they're dried. So I'll see you in a bit. Hey, so that's me back. So I'm going to hold them up so you can see. That I'm not sure if the video shows, but they are really good. You can see where I've dried that one and I've flattened it out. But yeah, they're on the other side as well. And there's another one. And that's where, you know, where you get the foamy bubbles and the foamy bubbles. So you get that. If you did it in blue, it would be like sea foam. It would be quite nice. So they make really stunning backgrounds. And at the moment, I'm doing a fairy journal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dab some different colours on one or two of these. And because they're A5, I can make like an envelope out of it. So yes, I'm really pleased with those. And then there's another one, you can see where the foamy bubbles have been on. It's quite stunning actually. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the messy mat out. Now the colours, I'm just wanting to use the pastels of the so I've got evergreen bough, I've got shabby shutters, and what I'm doing is I'm just shaking. If you shake them like that, it'll come out of the top. So the best way to do it is to just keep shaking it gently until you can see there's chalk on the bottom of that, so that's still not done. And I tried to do most of these while the camera was off. So what I'll do is I'll go away and I'll come back when it's all set. It only takes a couple of minutes, but it's boring for you guys to watch. So that's me back, so they're all done. So I'm going to start with the evergreen bough, and I'm just 2 squirts and a squirt of water. Well, 1 or 2 squirts of water. Now I'm not doing all of these, I'm just doing a few. And I will mop up with book pages because I like to use the book pages. And I will stop in between because I want to dry them, because I don't want a muddy puddle. And just going to get a book page. Now we'll just wipe that up. And I'll just dry these 2 off. I'll see you in a second. And I think what we'll do is we'll go with the antique linen. This is the nearest to cream I could get. Again, 2 squirts and 2 squirts on there. And that there. Put that one there. And as I go further down, right, what I'm going to do is, because that's and what I'll do is I won't dry that off. We'll go straight onto Shabby Shutters, which is quite a pleasant green, more greener than the antique linen, so it's just going up 1. And we'll just mop this up with the same book page. And then we'll wipe it down. So as you can see, there's you can't see much of the cream in the background, the antique linen. It is there, but it will have mingled with the coffee. But you can see the evergreen bough and the shabby shutters. And I'm just going to dry those off. I'm just putting my Doocraft Stick It mat, 2 seconds. And there we are. So it's dried. This is sort of like antique linen. and you can't see it on there, but you can see it on there, and you can see it a bit on there. So now we're going to do saltwater taffy. I might need to put some pickled raspberry in with it, I'm not sure. We've got festive berries here. I'm just going to put a tiny little, that's it. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mix that up. So that's saltwater taffy and festive berries. Just putting a few squirts on that. And we'll start with the one that's not got much on it. Just going round where and we'll just right, so it's a little bit too green. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try some weathered wood. This is just a new one for me, so I've not used it before. And I have got the chalk off the bottom yet, and it's kind of like a grey. And we'll see, we'll put a little bit of, and what else have I got that runs down that line? Oxide, forest moss, no. We could try some priced ribbon. Block and China. We'll try this one. That's probably, I've just spotted that now. So what we'll do is we'll just do these first, and then I'll put some of that on. And I think I need to fill me spray bottle up. Whoop. Not sure if I'm liking that, but we'll still do it anyway. And what I'll do is I will lift that up. And it always dries lighter anyway. And I'm just going to dry these off. 2 seconds. And we're back. Yeah, so the weathered wood, it's a little bit dark. So the green and the weathered wood, not good. Use these. And I'm just spreading this out. And again, the boot page. The boot page isn't picking up much. This is an old book that I brought back from Cyprus with me. I can't use it for pages. I can use it for backing, ephemera and things like that, because it just cracks. And again, I'm just going to dry these off. So I'll see you in a couple of seconds again. Right, I thought I'd put I put some priced ribbon on. I thought I'd put talking to you and you just weren't switched on. So I put some priced ribbon on. It's going a little bit blue. Still a little bit dark for my liking. I could put gesso over it and that would mute it all. But I'm not quite sure. I'm going to try some pumice stone when I find it. And that's kind of a... Again, this is kind of a beigey, I'm not quite sure how that will go. And again, I will dry this off. I'll not put any of that on the boot page because it won't even show. I'll dry this off and I will come back to you. Right, so I'm back. So no, it's kind of... I'm getting muddy puddles now. And maybe I should have put gesso on before I started. Don't get me wrong, they are nice, I like them, but they're not what I wanted, and probably that is, normally when I do this, I don't have really anything in mind, I just have a set of colours, and whatever I get, I take. Where this one, I was trying to get colours, you know, to kind of match these, which they do, but I'm just going to put some gesso on. And this is just gesso from the works, and I'm just using my trusty holiday card, hotel, and I'm just it doesn't take all the colours away, but what it does do is it blends them into the background a bit, and that's probably what I'm looking for. Don't need no fancy tools for this. Well, unless you want a holiday card, then you've got to go and stay in one of the hotels that has a card for the security. And that's it, and I shall dry that. And I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so I'm quite happy with these. I know I said it was crafting on a budget, and I've used distress oxides and everything. You don't have to use distress oxides, you can use watercolour paints, acrylic paints mixed with water, whatever you want, but it was mainly the bubble dyeing that I wanted to show you. So what we're going to do now is we're going to make an envelope. So I'm just folding it up, I'm just guessing it I'm not doing any measurements at all. Although if you put the edges to the edge, you will get a straighter line. So that's that one. So yeah. We'll make that one a little bit shallower pocketed. And no, I like the owl on all of them. No, the books. And we'll have the green showing on this, because we'll have the dragon egg. So these are the ones I'm going to use. I am going to do some, I will decorate these up more, but all this was to show you what I wanted to do with them. So this is going to be kind of the fastener. This will stick down and the envelope will go up, but I am going to stamp them and I will show you them all finished in the final. So I hope you get something out of that. It was mainly the bubble dye, the coffee bubble dye in. I kind of went off on a tangent for crafting on a budget, but as I say, you don't have to use these sprays. You can use water, you know, the cheap kids watercolor. Just you know, wet the palette, put it on your mat, and then just dip your papers into that. You probably get a better result actually. So I will try that. I will do that for one of the next crafting on a budget. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you get something out of it, and I hope you're all going to try bubble dyeing with coffee or cabbage water or avocado or turmeric. I was going to say saffron again. Saffron's too expensive. Okay, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.